Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Viz-71 Tesák. It's a tier 10 Czechoslovakian light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Tundra, and it's under the command of the BassmanFromHell from Reborn 2. Now he's going to show us how bad or how good this new light tank is. Game on. Well, it's got a pair of autocannons which are 57mm in caliber, but they're capable of spitting out shells at a phenomenal rate, more than 10 per second. And each shell is capable of 12 alpha, but they can penetrate 192mm of armor, so they're particularly powerful. Now you can see all the changes they made to the map. It's now impossible from this position to actually see and get a shot at the enemy tanks as they're making their way over towards the hill. Well, not easy anyway. Okay, we've got a Viz-55 over there, but it's fairly long way away. These tanks actually make good light tanks in terms of the fact that they can spot, but they also make assassin tanks, because you can just roll up to an enemy tank if it's got light enough armor and pummel them with masses and masses of rounds. Each clip carries 75 rounds of ammo, so you've got about a 7-second clip duration, and during that time obviously you're going to be perforating the enemy potentially as much as 700 hit points. Well, the DPM is 2,986.46 hit points per minute, and that's a lot. That is very high profile indeed. So far he's not been spotted, but he has actually spotted a few enemy tanks, and you can see he has got a skill up, which is the concentration skill at the moment. It's showing there at the bottom of the screen. There you go. Now I have been noticing and checking to see when certain skills actually come into effect, because that makes them useful. We're just spotting a Progetto, and yes, we are getting the spotting for that one, 1,503 off the Progetto 65, so he took a bit of a hammering, and in fact it was our Arty who was actually benefiting from that. Of course, as an Arty main player, anything that helps the Arty get some hits on the enemy is good for me, and of course if they then get the assist, even better. And now we've spotted a Heshbarn. An FP4005 just came to the site. It's over to the right of the screen. There you go. Just spotted them in the distance. They've gone behind cover now, so that's why we couldn't get any outline. There is another one over there though, and yeah, changing position. There's 3 Heshbarns on the enemy team. Okay, he's moving about to try and spot as many as he can. Let's be careful though, that if he does get spotted by those guys on the hill, then he's going to get some pretty big guns turning his way. That's fairly nippy, 65 kilometers now. Oh, he's got a shot here. Look at that, just assassinated a Heshbarn by rattling those shells right into his weakest armor and take him out the game. But now he's got a reload of 13.3 seconds. In actual fact, the standard reload is 14.38, so he's knocked a second off that straight away. It's a funny looking tank. It's basically just the cannons, but the crew are actually inside the vehicle. Of course, there is only 3 crews, so it's not that many. Looking down the bridge road. He's just checking to see if there's anything he can get an easy kill on. Okay, there's 2 enemy RT in the game. It's a reasonable chance if he did roll up on those, then they would suffer. Okay, he saw that teammate actually get wiped out, and I thought, well, change mine, I'm not going that way. So he's pulling back, but he's still covering this side of the map. It could very well be that the enemy doesn't realise that this side of the map is fairly well open. But the fact is that, you see, the enemy tried coming up this way. Oh, he did get spotted by someone. The shells came in this direction. And artillery shells were actually landing behind him. His sixth sense didn't go off, so how did somebody work out where he was? Maybe they saw him from the hill, but his sixth sense should have gone off. Okay, he's going to go up on the hill. There's only a couple of tanks up there, and both of those tanks can be wiped out with this cannon. So I think we're going to see some brief but furious action any second now. Hello, Mr. Batchat. You're out. And now the other Batchat has quickly decided to leave the field. Yes. Oh! Didn't see the Progetto. I didn't see him either until it was too late. But at least he got one tank, and he took a hit for 411 from the Progetto, and that was the 105mm main gun. So he's popping up again using the bush. He got spotted. He gets the Batchat nicely, so he's got his next kill now. Heshbon. Yep, cleaned him too. That's 4 kills. So he's just had a bit of fun. You see how fast those cannons fire. Now there's still a Heshbon on this side. There he is. He's up ahead of us, so we're changing course to try and avoid that big 183mm main gun. He's missed, in which case now he is ripe for plucking, and we're about to pluck him. Right, royally pluck him. And he's gone. Now we did take a hit from the 261, and now we've got to wait for a reload, but the 261 will take almost as long to reload as we will, in which case, yeah, he gets the kill, we get the spotting. So we're 2 up on the enemy now, and he's had a bit of fun because he's now got 5 kills. One more, and he's got himself a top gun. So it does seem that this tank is actually quite good as an active spotter, but not so good at hide-and-seek like spotting. But then, oh, look at this! Well, he gets some hit points off the Conqueror, but can he get him in time? The enemy is capping. The Conqueror might be turning around on us. He is. And he gets the kill, which gives him a top gun. That was lovely, that. Although it was an Arty, I must admit, you know, it was an Arty. He had to do a handbrake turn to get round. There's only one enemy left now. It's the K91, which of course is the medium tank, not the tank destroyer. He's got to work out where the guy is. He's not in the cap. There he is. He's just suddenly appeared. Now he knows that we must be fully loaded. He does put a round into us. Now if we can get behind him. Oh, he's just taking damage. Okay, so he's going to be focused on the Centurion. We'll come up and wipe him out from behind. Lovely. And that's 7 kills and the game to the baseman from hell. Well, I think these autocannons are having a big effect in the game, because we're seeing now heavy tank battles at tier 10 where tanks are coming in with cool-headed medals. You only ever saw those below tier 5 in the past, mostly because that's the place where most of the autocannons were located before the Czech tanks came in. But now, that was a first-class tanker for the baseman from hell in the Tesák. You can tell it says first class because it's got the scrolls underneath, and you only get those the first time. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. And he also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. And on top of that, he got a top gun, getting at least 6 kills. In actual fact, he ended up with 7, which is 1 short of getting a Radley Walters in that game. And his win rate was 5,115. I think he started off doing the usual spotting, but really it wasn't working on this new version of Tundra. So he went active, and then he was much better off doing active work, because, of course, he was having a dramatic effect upon some of the enemy tanks that were already fairly well wounded. And I think this is one of those tanks. It's I don't know if you ever heard of the novels of either Napoleonic novels like Sharp, or even the novels like Frank Herbert's Dune. whereas there would be a group of people, mostly the widows and the wives of soldiers, who would go around the battlefield dispatching the enemy soldiers who've been killed or been wounded, rather, and then collect all together their belongings and basically rob them. But basically, that's what this tank is doing. It's running around the battlefield, finding wounded enemy tanks and assassinating them quickly for their hit points and, of course, the kill. So I think we're going to see a lot of games where people are driving around the battlefield willy-nilly, getting either Pools medals or Radley Walters from assassinating enemy tanks who are already very badly damaged. So I think the tactic for this little tank will be to hide in a bush, wait until half the enemy team has been virtually wiped out, and then run around killing them all as quickly as you can so you can pick up your medals. Anyway, let's have a look at team score and see what the scores are. Well, the highest damage in that game went to an M5Y who got 4,693. Second highest was the BZ75 who managed 4,454. And the third highest damage was one of the Batchats on the enemy team, 3,949. And I think that was one of the ones that the baseman actually did manage to get a kill. Yes, he did. He got that guy 23 shots into his rear, and he got the most damage on the enemy team. When it came to baseman, pardon me, he got 2,679 hit points, so he was up there with the top scorers, doing a fair bit of damage. When it came to kills, though, he's easily the top scorer. 7 kills to him. 2 kills went to the BZ75, the 121, the Batchat 25 ton, the K91, and the Progetto 65. And when it came to base XP, he's got the highest on that as well. 1,099 went to the baseman. 1,002 went to the BZ75. They were the only 2 tanks who managed to get over 1,000 base, with third place going to the M5Y, who got 985. He fired 265 57mm rounds in that game. He got 195 direct hits and 155 penetrations. 28 splash damage as well. 2,679 hit points, all of it at close range. 2 hits received, both were penetrations, one of which was from the Progetto. I can't remember which one. Oh, it was the Batchat, I think it was. I think it was the Batchat, or was it? No, I think both of them were from the Progetto 65, if I remember correctly, because, yes, he got shot at from above and below. At least I think it was. I'll have to go back and check that. He did receive 1 hit by way of splash damage as well, because a shell exploded on the ground next to him. 4 enemy vehicles were spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, 2,142 hit points of damage assist or spotting assist. He earned a loss of 11,389 credits on a premium count, and he also picked up 7 bombs and 6,595 experience points out of it as well. I'm not sure why he actually suffered a loss other than the consumables, because that was 40,000. So, yes, I think this tank is one of those where you need to ensure that you either pay for your consumables in advance and get them at half price, or don't use any consumables at all if you can help it, so that you don't actually have any expenditure and come out with a profit. Other than that, it was an interesting battle. It was the first time I've seen the Tesák in operation. But this is not the only replay that's been sent in by the baseman. Yes, he sent me in another one. So let's have a look at that one and see how he gets on in it. Well, in this battle, we're now on the Prokhorovka map, and you can see that the baseman from Hell has platooned with Katrina, actually it's Katrinia, and she's in the Batchat 155-58, and they're both from Reborn too, so this should prove interesting, because he's now going to spot for the Arty and see if he can give us some kills. Now, I did check the log, by the way. It wasn't the Progetto who hit him twice. The Progetto only hit him once, but he did get hit by the K91 when he located that guy. Now, those 57mm rounds, looking forward, getting ready. He's moving towards the bowl, and I think he's going to do a quick run right up at the centre line. See how many he can spot. And he's skirting the edge of the bowl. He's found somebody, an Object 780. Is that? Yep, there he is. And he's found another one, a Tesák on the enemy team. It's interesting how he's driving as well. I think he might be using, not the force, no, he's actually probably using the minimap to see if there's anybody directly ahead of him as he's driving along. And he's looking at the enemy, but keeping his driving movements so he doesn't run into any objects. Okay, he's just spotted a Super Conqueror, and that was up at the centre line. So he's actually lit a number of enemy vehicles already. Nobody up on the hill yet, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go round the outside of the village, come further south. Oh, he's just spotted the enemy Arty off in the distance, next to the round 1 line. Saw the tracer coming up from that zone. Now, I'm not sure how deep into the hill he's going to go. The 121B and the Object 140 are ready. Now, if he's got the... yes, he has got the commander's vision system, so he can actually... Oh! Yes, he did get some nice shots in there, but he did get fired on by the Tesák down below. And he took 1 round from the enemy Tesák for 63 hit points. Now, those rounds are normally 12 hit points per. As you can see here with the premium rounds, it's actually 9 hit points, but with the HE rounds, it's 24. So he did receive a few rounds from that Tesák. Okay, the Object 140 using the button shaker type skin. Yeah, he's trying to say, can we have some fire on that guy, please? If Katrina can suppress him, then we can go in and do more damage. Okay, he's got a target. He fires at long range. Oh, he got some hits, but the Tesák's firing back at him, and he got a big hit there. 266 from quite a few shells. In fact, it was in 2 chunks. Now, our Object 140 has still gone a long way forward. We're almost complete on the reload. Okay. Now, is he going to get a spot on that Tesák? How good is the camo? I do know something. The armour on this vehicle is very, very light indeed. He's been spotted. Has to decant quickly because he takes a round from the E5. Now, that would have been a 105mm round, I think, if I'm correctly. Or is it the 120? Might be the 120, actually. A low roll 120. Okay, the 140 is using the low ground. From this position, I don't think the enemy can see him. I think they want to get at the Object 140, but they can't. Now we've got the 121B backing us up. So we're doing the spotting, but it's the 121B and the 140 are going to do the work. And now we've got somebody else join us as well, a T-57 Heavy. So Katrina's not getting much work at the moment as far as we're concerned. Doesn't have a kill yet. Oh, backed into the bush. Nicely done. Object 140 poking up. And yes, we do have a spot. And we were double bush there. Although we would have been visible to the enemy tanks if they'd been at the top of the hill. Okay, he's waiting for the reload to go in. Object 140 going a bit prematurely there. There's the enemy Tesák. Yeah. He's almost loaded. The guy goes into cover. He so wants to get some damage on that guy. I'm pretty sure he is using the commander's vision system. That's why he spotted us in the bush. Okay. We can't stay here for long. If he does get a hit, we might have to go low. And they are seen down there. And they see the top of the turret in the E5. Good look round to see where everyone is. Okay, their 121B is still fairly healthy. And the enemy Arty is now having a go at our 121B. Now we know there's one down by the railway crossing, for sure. Is he going to go active? There's the 121. Of course, if he does go down into the dip, he will have to work his way round and quickly get out, because otherwise he could find himself in trouble. Oh, now this is interesting. I haven't seen this done in a while. He's almost tempting the enemy to fire. We've got the concentration skill working there. Amazing. He's actually now changed to a position he wasn't seen when he was doing that, which is amazing. The Superconk and the 121B probably weren't even looking. But now we've got a perfect spot for Katrina to put rounds in there if she's loaded. Oh, this is so cheeky. Incredible. He's picking up spotting on these. Now, it's only 905 spotting already, or 906. But these guys are constantly lit. They're not going to be very happy about that. In fact, they might not even realise that they're constantly lit. Well, I think they probably do now, because it looks like Katrina is actually firing rounds. The Super Conqueror got hit. The question is, are we going to get spotted? It could be his camo is so good that even though they're only a short distance away, we're looking at it 360 meters away, they can't see him when he moves between the bushes. His camo's that good. Now, he probably wouldn't get through their frontal armor. He might have difficulty with the side armor. That's why he doesn't really want to open fire, because if he does, it would be a problem. But you can see our guys up on the hill might push these guys back, and if all of a sudden they charge down the hill, then we can start shooting into their sides. Okay, he's reloading. Is he? No, he's fully loaded there. Oh, we lost the 140 now. Did we get spotted? No, we didn't get spotted. Even though we moved between the two bushes there, he wasn't seen. And they got the 121B as well, which is not good. The score's still 4-all on both sides, so... yeah, it's not that things are going badly. We have about par on hit points as well. That these guys are constantly lit. And he's flashing to everybody, you know, hit them. And I think that was definitely Katrina. Yep, because that was platoon damage. Now, if she's loaded, she's got 2 more shells. Oh, now that's stunned, but didn't actually do any damage. Another 10 seconds. It looks like both parties are now firing in this general direction. Now, the other skill he's managed to get so far is the communications expert. That's because he's now managed his team to get at least more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. His vehicle is 1,400. He's now spotted for 1,585. So that's a 2.5% boost to his crew efficiency. I knew that this communications expert was going to be beneficial, both for spotters and also for Arty. I did a battle on video yesterday. If you haven't seen it already, it's the 60 TP one. A great little battle, but you see, when the enemy heavies were grouped together, side by side was coming into effect as well. And of course, that was greatly increasing his firepower by having another friendly heavy nearby. Okay, now he might be able to get damage on these guys, but he's decided against it just for the moment. That Superconk still got too much in the way of damage, too much in the way of health rather. He wouldn't be able to take out both of them. Oh, but the 121 goes down, but it was the T92 who got the kill there. Oh no, it's Katrina. I'm wrong. I keep saying Katrina. It's actually Katrina. Okay, he's got the concentration skill working. Concentration skills, it says there. It decreases the gun dispersion. Makes them more accurate. Just one of our guys, the T57 Heavy, goes all in on the Superconk, then we'll hit him in the side. He'll be hit by 2 tanks simultaneously. You can see it reeling off the numbers there. It's 313 meters away. You simply can't see us. But it's not just that we're in the bush. We've got our rear hanging out the bush, actually. And he's been stunned. Oh, that was a big hit. That was a big hit. 453. No, he's down to 1230. Still difficult to take him out with one ammo load. As he's turning himself around because he doesn't want to get suddenly... That was Katrina. Okay, she's got another couple of shells to fire in. If we can get this Superconk out of the way, we can go after the other Arty if they are still there. 311 meters. Okay, now he does it. And he was spotted, so now he does have to get moving. And we do take one round from the Superconk, but we're moving. And whilst he's distracted, he can't aim at the T57 Heavy and us. And now the T57's gone all in. Now will be the time. Oh, Superconk goes down, so he's out the game. And now we can deal with the enemy Arty just the other side of the fence. But we've only got a half mag. There he is. Okay, it's a T92. He knows he's been spotted now as well. His sixth sense will have gone off. But I'm not sure we actually need to go over the railway line. Because just knowing he's there, our Arty can now lay a shell down on top of him. Is he going to do it? Wait for it. Wait for it. There you are. Hit that. That's it. Ouch. I'm going to have that done to me a few times, I suspect. Okay, so he's loading the shells. We can see the Badger in the distance, but probably not the best thing to do. Yeah, we're going to make a quick run over to the west side of the map. There's still 5 enemy out there. 1 Arty, 1 tank destroyer, and 2 over on this side. So they've got the 780, and there's the one at the back, the Arty, the 261. Now we can assassinate him with just 1. Oh, we don't even need to. Jaeger got him. We're into the last minute of the game. He's found the Waffenträger auf E100. There you go. Go for the gun shield. Got him. Now take the Leopard. We've been spotted. Oh! Well, at least he had a major influence on that battle. Here's the end of battle stats. That was the second class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the Tesák. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, and he got a patrol duty for being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were being damaged, and he did extremely well. His win rate wasn't that high, but of course win rate depends on actual damage being done, not spotting per se. So you can have a really low win rate, but have won the battle simply because you spotted for most of the damage done by your teammates. His win rate from this one, 968, most of that down to the fact that he was spotting for damage done to enemy tanks. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in that game actually ended up being the 60 TP on our team, 4,215 hit points. Second highest damage was the Object 261 on the enemy team. Oh dear. He managed a Gauze medal and a Confederate for 4,135, so he was working extremely hard. How many shots did that guy fire, by the way? 17. Oh, he had 3 rounds left at the end of the game, so he did very, very well indeed. And in third place, it's the Waffenträger auf E100, who managed 4,101 in that game. So 3 players managed to get over 4,000 damage. When it came to Bassman, well, he's down here. He only got 793 hit points out of it, but he did have a major influence on the battle by spotting for his team. When it came to kills, the high scorers were the 60 TP, the T57 Heavy, and the Leopard 1 on the enemy team. And of course, we were one of the kills for that Leopard 1. And when it came to Bassman, he got just the 1 kill. And when it came to Base XP, we can see it's Bassman who's right at the top with 967. That's down to spotting. And 939 went to the 60 TP, 880 went to the T100 LT. Let's have a look at these awards. The T100 LT doing active spotting, or I think it was active spotting, he got a patrol duty. We can see Katrina got a Confederate, so she was working extremely hard, spreading all that Arty love onto the enemy. And the T92 also got a Confederate out of the game, and the Centurion Action 10 also picked up a Confederate. Off the enemy team, it's only the 261 who managed to get a Gauze medal and Confederate. So a lot of tanks working so hard that they actually did get medals, even if they were indirect fire or support fire. Let's have a look at the detail. He fired 234 rounds in this game. He got 138 direct hits and only 56 penetrations, 55 splash. 793 hit points of damage, of which 266 were at more than 300 meters. Those were the shots he was firing down into the field from the top of the hill. 39 hits received from the enemy. Of those, all 39 actually penetrated his hull. Because the armor is very, very light, in fact, the front of the turret is the strongest armor, and that's 30 millimeters. The front of the hull is only 20 millimeters. The side of the hulls is 25, funnily enough, but the rear of the hull is 20. So just about anywhere you hit on this vehicle, you're going to go through. The shells will just cream their way right through. He also received, there we are, spotted 7 enemy vehicles, damaged 6, killed 1, did 5,498 hit points of spotting assist in that game. On a premium count, he actually made a profit this time, but it's only 64 credits, so I don't think he'll be writing home about that. But he did get 7 bombs and 1,450 experience points out of it as well. So, yes, it's a very bad scout, but it seems that its camo is really, really good, and it does have the ability to assassinate enemy tanks if they have low enough hit points. You can see that Bassman restricted himself, or he waited an awful long time before he engaged that Superconk, and as soon as he did, that enabled his teammate in the T57 Heavy to engage and kill that Superconk and get him out of the way. But he did take some damage, at least 1 round for that, for his trouble. But he was moving between those bushes, and the Superconk just could not see him. He was there, but and you know, he was popping up. But his camo's so good that, yes, the enemy tanks are going to find it very difficult to see you when you're moving about. It also suggests that you're relatively safe if you're active spotting as well, because if you're moving about really quickly, the enemy might see you for a brief moment and then you'll disappear and they won't know where you've gone. So, yes, interesting you can do both active and passive scout. Hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.